This is the only caravan reversing video you will ever need. What's with that wrinkle? Hang on. Look, see, it gets all like that. There we go. It's like Botox for bogans. So I know it's super stressful to back a caravan in, and especially if you don't do it all the time. I think it's really important that you know a little bit about my past so that you know where I come from is a good place trying to help people. So I grew up in a trucking yard, hooking up road trains and falling in love with trucks, mate. I was the kid in the 80s in the passenger seat who, you know, just got on the horn, and I just love everything about trucks. What happened when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, they would say to me that I could go out and hook up the road trains. Obviously at 7 years old, I'm not hooking up road trains, but it developed into that. But I created a system that really stopped me getting yelled at. So if you could imagine these truckies in the 80s, mate, you know, if you didn't get it right, they'd be like, oh, move over, I'll fucking do it myself. You know, those type of people. I didn't know it at the time, but what I was subconsciously doing was creating a system where I would stop being yelled and abused. Come to think of it, I should probably see a psychiatrist. So this will be a two-part process for you to absolutely nail reversing your caravan every single time. You'll learn to love it instead of fear it, and that's when you actually really get good at it, is when you get given a tight spot and it becomes a challenge instead of like sweaty hands and oh fuck, there's people watching. I want to remove that stress out of your holiday or your caravan life. But this also works for horse floats, it works for semi-trailers, it works for anything that has one pivot point. Okay, I know it's going to be a long video, but it's going to be worth it, I promise you. The first thing we're going to do is grab a plate from inside. What we're going to do first is we're going to learn to say no 10 different ways. This could be at work, this could be at home, this could be anywhere where you get a bit of privacy. I want you just to sit in your seat as if you're sitting in the driver's seat of the car, and I want you to look into your mirror on the left and turn the wheel and say no. Then I want you to look into your right and you say nope, and you go and then you go no, don't do that, don't do that. What we want to do is when we see a problem in our mirror with too much caravan, we say no to it. There's 3 ways to teach this. You could do left hand down, which is, it disconnects you from the caravan. So that's shit, don't do left hand down. But then the other one you've got is hold the wheel at the bottom. If you want the trailer to go left, you bring it left. Stop driving this wheel and look in your mirrors and you steer those wheels back there. Doing this bottom one, that's shit. Look, what happens when the hand gets up here? Yeah, now it's all fucked up, that system, so that doesn't make any sense. And then what you got to do, instead of looking here at the mirror, you're now going, oh, I have to readjust my hands. You shouldn't be thinking of this area. That's why we're creating a habit with saying no 10 different ways. Let's go. No, don't. Fuck up, don't fucking go there. Right, okay, you're with me? Eventually this will become small movements, yeah, because you'll see your wheels in the mirror, and when you turn this, it's a little bit of a delayed reaction, right? So throttle control, we don't need speed here. Everything's slow, everything's pretty smooth eventually once you get used to this system. You're not thinking here, you're looking and you're adjusting to what you're seeing here. This is just a habit that we're creating of saying no, we don't want to see any more caravan in that mirror. Okay, so you've been practicing your 10 different ways to say no for, I don't know, a couple of days. You feel like, all right, let's apply this now. Here's what you should do next. Hook up your caravan or your trailer around 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night and head down to either the train station or Woolworths or a public car park where you can get some real privacy without any traffic around you. This is the Camp Cunt caravan right here, and all you're gonna do is just learn to keep it in a straight line. So this is a car park here, and you're just going to, now I've got too much van here, so you just say no to it. And all we're gonna do is nice slow movements. Now I've got too much van in this side, so I steer the wheel this way and say no to it. And what we're gonna do a soft reset here. So a soft reset, if you imagine that we get ourselves in a really icky situation like this, we just pull forward about 1 or 2 meters, right? And then we go back to saying no, right? So no to this side, good. And in we go. We're gonna do that a few times at the car park, and we're just gonna, you know, take someone with you that, you know, doesn't need to correct you or you know, have an opinion. It's really just about you practicing at the car park, getting it in every time, and you'll do this for as long as you like. You should start to feel like you can control the caravan at that point by saying no to it, and all you've done is just practice keeping it in a straight line, and that is, we'll call it chapter 1. Now is time for the second part of the puzzle. We're going to take the Camp Cunt caravan, take him on a little drive. This here is our caravan park. These are our spots that we're going to reverse onto, and guaranteed when you get to a caravan park, there's going to be people parked across this side. I cannot stress to you enough that reversing a caravan well is 10% technique, which is the saying no to it and being able to control the direction of it, and 90% is approach angle. Every single time you get these videos online of caravans that have had trouble reversing in, it all stems from a terrible approach angle. So we're going to talk about that right now. Most people, when they get this wrong, they put the car in the middle of the lane, right? And I'm going to show you what happens. This is my spot that I'm going to reverse into. And watch what happens here. I've got the car in the middle of the lane because that makes sense, right? And then what happens is you say no to this side. So you steer towards that, right? And it comes in. Everything seems good, and then you get to a pinch point. You see that? This is a problem. And this is majority of what happens, is you get to this situation where it's just a fucking nightmare, honestly. The other thing that fucks it all up is you don't go past your sight enough, and I'm going to demonstrate how that can create a choke point. So you'll see here, I've driven in, and I get to this point here. You know what, let's get it even closer. Closer's good, nice and tight, and you get it to there, right? And then you start to crank down on it and you say no to that other side, and you create this problem here. Now you've got 55 different ways to try and do it, and it's just a fucking nightmare, because look, there's always somebody parked here, right? And now we're pinched, right? I want you to pull in nice and tight as you can, within about 30 centimeters to whatever obstruction is there. At the last minute, just swing out, get the van past this pivot point. So now that we've got it nice and close, you'll see what happens here. I'll say no, right as that axle gets to that pivot point there. I want that tight, right? And then I'm gonna crank down pretty hard there, but you'll see I've got room to do it because I started it from over here. And then from this point, you just straighten it up. Good, let it come in, it's okay. And then, good. Now I'm not saying that you'll do that first time. You could get it to here, right? And then just come in, and remember what we practiced over here is we just say no to it. And now we've got too much in this side, we say no to that. And then bang. Your car doesn't have to be straight at the end. This has to be straight, okay? Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video here of the Camp Cunt compound, the towing training facility. We now unhook it and we park our car sideways, Oh, I didn't put the handbrake on. Yep, and then you put your awning out, and then as people walk past here, they can't see in there because everyone is a perv. I'm going to show you how bringing it in on the left-hand side creates much more problems than the right-hand side. We bring it in as close as we can to that side. Yeah. At the very last minute, we swing. Good. Now we have a fighting chance. You'll see that it's a little bit tricky here because once you're in the car, you can't see this line here, and that's the line that we want to try and line up. So it comes in this way, but it's very it's much harder to try and do that in real life, okay, because everything is blind behind you. But if it's here, then you can see in this mirror, you can see where your tires are with that side. Okay, so it's always much easier to back in a Caravan with the sight on the right hand side. I'm going to show you a little bit of video footage here of a really tight spot that I got caught out with at Hervey Bay in Queensland. And you'll see here that I have to reset the van because I'm not close enough to this car here on the right hand side. I thought I was, but it's all about keeping it tight to that right hand side, and when do I start saying no to the other side to get it to come in on a right angle. So I really hope this video helps you. I want to be the one who takes the stress out of reversing your Caravan. And again, not just a Caravan, could be any trailer, but for this video, specific to Caravans. A word of a warning here is watch the front when you swing it in. If it's a tight spot, watch your front, because you don't want to be looking at your mirrors so much that you wipe the guy out in front of you, because that will be a very aggressive attack angle if you're coming in on a 90 degree there. So if you need any help, just send me a message or something. You know, I'm happy to do videos to help the community. If this video has helped you and you want to buy me a coffee, there'll be a link down the bottom. That'll keep all these videos rolling all the time. And you know what? It's a shit time to be towing a Caravan right now with fuel up around $3.30 diesel and stuff like that. So if you're on your ass, don't buy me coffee. But if you want to, then awesome, mate. We've seen great success teaching children this. And for example, my son, he can't drive forwards, but he can reverse a trailer using this method. Good job. Say no to it. Good job. Look at him turning that wheel. Look at him, in control. And he's got flies all over him. He's pissed off. Okay. And if I put that up, what happens is TikTok gives me a child abuse violations. Wish you all the best, camp cunts out. Hope this video finds you well, all right? And that's all my dirty laundry.